Hello. Bear with me. My intuition is making my stomach nauseous. Okay, so hello again. I just shared that my intuition is making my stomach nauseous. Has anybody ever had that happen where their gut, their instincts? Now, real quick, let me segue. Instinct and intuition are two different things, right? There's that gut instinct. And then your intuitive, so your instincts come from here, your intuition comes from up here. So anyhow, sometimes your intuition though can be so spot on that it flutters your instincts because it blurs your ability to know the choices between real and unreal. This is Teresa PhelpsMartin in the Soulfully You virtual space that is being held for your practice and your practice of integrating the body, the mind, the heart, the soul, of bringing all these parts and pieces together. And together we have this ability to understand the sun and the moon. And the sun being that great, brilliant light, right? That's here for us. And that moon that reflects that great light. And I remember my first yoga teacher training. I was in the jungles of Nosara, Costa Rica. And I was young, rather young. I was 26. And as that little innocent 26-year-old who had just danced with death just months beforehand, when the practices of yoga and the presentation that Don Namba Stapleton provided, they provided a vantage point of a practice from their highest offering of where they had honored the guru, and the guru disappointed them and their whole ashram, right? And I didn't understand how they were presenting the practice of yoga until many, many, many years later. And one of the things that they presented was a simple expression of Hatha yoga. My first teacher training, my first 200-hour certification. It's called interdisciplinary Hatha yoga. So in their presentation of Hatha yoga was the idea of the sun and the moon, okay? The idea of you have the Hatha, and what you're doing is yoking them together. So you're bringing together opposing forces, opposing energies. Sorry for my dog that's in heat, being very feminine right now, finding comfort. And I know it's kind of foul and disgusting, but believe it or not, I read about it, and it's how they make themselves happy. So in that natural world, we bring together opposing energies, day, night, hot, cold. Like we would spend days, okay, in this idea of contemplation or reflection, of understanding, opposites. And then having children, right? How do they begin to understand the world is through opposites: big, small, hot, cold, dense, light. So all of these, oh, hi, sweet one. Gosh, I am glad you are back, Diane, and feeling better. And I miss you guys. I miss all of you. So in that journey, though, of understanding our relationship, like let's say healthy sick, known, unknown, certainty, uncertainty. We're in this land of duality, big time. Now, Donna Namba Stapleton presented all of this from a non-authoritarian place. They presented this from, here is the information, and you reflect upon it. You are the guru. You live from the teacher within. One of the greatest, that was Lulu saying amen. One of the greatest gifts is understanding your own inner agency. What's complicated, what I was starting out with, is that sometimes that inner agency can make us nauseous, or we don't feel well, or we're kind of in such a land of confusion and uncertainty that we don't know what's hot or cold. We don't know what feels good or what doesn't feel good. We actually have to go based on our instinct, and we use these practices like yoga to understand where we're out of sync. So the sun and the moon, that was a long story of my first introduction to Hatha Yoga, being the sun and the moon, is they are central in the esoteric understanding that the sun is consciousness. It is ever present, omnipresent. It's everywhere. It's everything. It's the center of our universe. You hold that same light within you. And some people think that they are the center of the universe because you are, right? That's the divine paradox. And then that moon travels, and the mystery of the moon, that's why she's labeled feminine. The mystery, the ever-changing. She is the resilience, right? So you have this movement of energy, which is the feminine, and you have this steady presence, which is the masculine. But I'm gonna throw something at you. We've got to also know that the sun, the consciousness, the steady presence is feminine. And that masculine energy is the movement, is the ability to go and change. And so know that they can dance with each other. And where I'm going with that is we have fire, we have air. So what does this have to do with making peace or make peace? It's because we have to make peace with the fact that everything we've been taught and all that we know is nothing. Because when you take it all away, you're a beginner. However, we have experience, right? We were sick, we got better. We got news that is still hard to process. And then we slowly sit with the unfolding. And in the unfolding, we are given information that we have to know how to go inward and listen. Okay? So the listening piece is feminine. The listening is this energy of Libra. It is the ability to know your capacity, to be honoring, to do justice. Brene Brown just did a podcast, The Anatomy of Trust. And that's it. It's like, how do you trust in your own inner agency? You have to go inward. And then when we go inward, it's dark. It's a mystery. But that mystery is the brilliance, it's the beauty, it's the source of creativity. And so we're at this place of so many cycles closing, ending. And in that closure, we have to let go. And as we let go by making peace. Or I heard this definition of forgiveness last night, listening to a 2-hour podcast on Neptune. And she was sharing that her client was a therapist. And yes, therapists go see astrologers. Isn't that interesting? And she said her definition of forgiveness, she did not quote or credit this person, so I can't do it either, is that forgiveness is holding space for what was. And that's so important if you're going to make peace. You're not going to forget the story of your life. You're not going to forget being sick. You're not going to, I don't forget that first time I was sitting in the jungles, innocent, knowing nothing other than I knew I was meant to be a yoga teacher. And then all this information being presented, and it all made so much sense. And I was processing a moment of great darkness, great difficulty, and triumph. So we have to know how to listen and let go so that we can make peace. So when we begin again, right? You know the saying, one door closes, another door opens. But it's so hard because when you're in that crossroads and it feels like time is slowing down and you can't seem to move forward, and then it zips up again, right? Like just do a slow motion video with your phone and it starts fast and then it slows down and it goes fast again at the end, and listen to the sound. It gets really, so that sort of place you need to go inward and light the flame for your heart. And when we can light the flame, it's just, yes, I've been contemplating a lot and I've had a lot of time. So we'll get on our mat, but Sagittarius is the season of joy, enthusiasm, light, flair, faith. And it is part of this 12-step program of astrology that we are given this ability to light the candle and carry that light with us wherever we go at a time of the greatest darkness of our season. So sit with that one. We're going to start standing. The top edge of our mat, feet on the ground. I highly recommend, if it's not part of your practice right now, but to light a candle every day. To notice how with that strike, you can ignite and inspire the flame of your own heart. And that you can even do the meditation where you watch the dance of the candle, of the flame, but also know that flame sits within you. It's Hanukkah, right? We are reminded of that light that can be lit. So find your feet. And as you find your feet, yesterday I was reminded that I really like the conversations of yoga, the dialogue, the contemplation, and not so much the beginning of just like little circles of your wrist. But we're going to start here standing, knees bent, and just circle our wrists and feel our breath. Okay, move your arms as you like, move your head, move your shoulders, because I did what I don't always like to do, which is just talk out loud. What's going on in my mind? Sweep your arms up, circle your arms, however you like. You're home by yourself, nobody's watching. You're watching me, and I'm being silly, so you gotta be in that place, right? Because I invoked Dawn and Amba. I haven't told the story of when I knew I was going to be a yoga teacher. But they were all about inquiry. It's what they presented yoga as, a practice of inquiry. And when you have that practice of inquiry, move your body. And I want circular motion. Okay, we got to get energy moving because we want to clear that energy that's stuck within us out. Okay? And as we move and as we breathe, we can feel that connection to our own light, our own warmth. And then slowly bring your hands to your own heart. And as you settle in, feel that warmth, that connection. Honor the highest, harm to none, for all beings everywhere. We breathe in with the divine, the inspiration, the connection. Maybe just breathe in with the light, your faith, the sun, this moment, your vitality. Be triumphant in your choice to show up. You are in charge of you in this practice. I just present the journey, but you make the choice of where you're headed. Offer your own intention. And the beautiful thing is when we offer intention, we let it go and we just make peace that we're here. Relax the hands down, relax the head. Inhale the arms up overhead. Full breath in. Arms go wide. Hinge at the hips all the way forward. Bend the knees. Relax the neck and jaw. Step back. Downward dog. Inhale, plank. Knees to the earth. Elbows bend. Shoulders roll back. Inhale, curl the heart up. Exhale, bow all the way down. Push up off the earth. Tuck the toes. Downward dog. Inhale, walk forward. I know we're moving fast. Bow to the ground. Feel all there is and make peace with that first salutation. Arms rise up. Hands come to your heart. Let it go. Let it be. You probably found all sorts of things that you could pass judgment on. So now we breathe deeper into that ability to be non-judgmental, but aware of the breath. Relax the hands. Inhale the arms up, full breath in. Arms go wide, hinge the hips, bow. So in our second salutation, you can find the hands, find the feet. Inhale, plank, knees high or low, all the way to the earth. Adjust, shoulders to your back. Inhaling up. We're gonna come back to the earth, bow down, push up, and back, downward dog. Walk forward. One breath per movement. It can feel jarring. Bow down. Inhale, come all the way up. Sweep the arms overhead. Hands come to your heart. Release completely. I just want you to feel the flow and how there's always an ending. And we can only find a new beginning of the next salutation as if we complete the cycle. Release the hands. Inhale the arms up overhead. It's the last day of November as I record this. Hinge. We're in a balsamic moon energy. Exhale, bow. The balsamic moon is more when the moon's in Scorpio before the total solar eclipse in Sagittarius. At 12 degrees, inhale, plank. Exhale to the ground. Inhale, open the heart. It's completing a 20-year, actually, a 19-year cycle, I think. It's a big deal. The nodes of fate will move into a different nodal axis point and node energy of opposition. Exhale, bow. And it's that opposition of spring and fall. Inhale, come all the way up. Arms sweep high. Exhale, hands to your heart. So notice how through those three salutations we created, we sustained, and now it's dissolving. What can we begin? We're going to bend our knees. Inhale the arms overhead. Full breath in. Exhale down to the earth. Fold. Inhale, plank. Exhale, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. I can't do it, but I'm offering it to you. Honoring tradition. This very masculine. Inhale, right foot forward. Ground the foot. Arms sweep up overhead. Because this is a version of a salutation. Inhale, plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. That was created so men could get ready to go to war. Step the left foot forward, roots. Inhale, rise. It's supposed to all be the same breath. Back to the earth. Plank, chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Don't worry, we're not doing 3 of these. I might be going to war with certain elements that need to be released and removed from my life, but it doesn't mean I have to train by being aggressive physically. 5 breaths here. So where are you in your journey? What are you fighting for? What are you honoring? So grateful to all my teachers along the way, and that includes you.
it was something I realized yesterday, slowly walk your feet forward, is that each of you have taught me so much. I am the teacher I am because of each of you. Bow. Bend the knees. Inhale, arms overhead. Utkatasana. Come standing, hands to your heart. So we've ignited, right? We feel, even in the cold and in the darkness, a heat and a warmth. But we want to do ourselves justice. We want to make peace with the energy of this journey. We want to know the steadiness of our own light, as well as the potential for what is yet to be. When I think of the archetypal energy of Sagittarius, its opposing energy is Gemini. So it's the curiosity and the adventure. It's the traveling and the journey. It is the Rudra and the Damaru. It is the drum. It is the beat that pulses life through each of us. One is not a teacher unless there are students. Free your hands. Stand into the right foot. Inhale the left knee up. Come into tree pose. So I'm going pretty full on right at the beginning. So respect. Is it working? Is it not working? Arms are going to go wide. Okay, stretch the arms out to the sides. Shoulders come to the back. Draw into the core. Find the length through the spine. Notice how much you're moving, and can you find that center to be steady? Where is the center? In my opinion, it's the soul. And when you find your soul center, you can then live from this place. Doesn't mean it always feels good. It just means that you're showing up for the journey and you're staying curious about it. Shoulders to your back, glide the foot back, clasp the hands, warrior one. Pull the ribs in, shoulders to your back, lift through the roof of the mouth. Get curious of your feet and then ground into them. Breathe into the beat of your heart. Look to the sky. Look for the higher vantage point so that you can make peace. And then inhale, straighten the leg, turn to the long edge of the mat. Heel toe the feet apart. Right foot turns out. Arms go wide. And then exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. So it's just simple. Tree pose, warrior 1 to warrior 2. And then exhale, the hands to the earth. Spin the back heel out, but we're going to go three-legged dog. Right leg goes to the sky. Right? And then the thing about the salutations, 3 circles here. The thing about the salutations is that we just get movement in the spine. And then you're going to bring the knee to your heart. Bring the knee to the earth. Pivot the heel. Inhale the arm up. Circle it all the way over. Open the throat. Open the heart. And then exhale the hands to the earth. Ground down. Lift the leg up. Open it up. Draw in. And then inhale the foot to the earth. Both feet to the ground. 3 breaths here. Connect with your hands. The strength of your arms. Full breath in, plank pose. Full breath out. Knees high or low, we're going all the way to the ground this time. Pull that energy in, keep the sides of the body long, spine's long. Knees are gonna bend, hands clasped behind you, shoulders to your back. Inhale, so this is a funky thing, okay? Shoulders are to your back, knees are bent. It's like doing Shalabhasana with Dhanurasana legs. And then stretch the legs out, open into Shalabhasana. Hands come underneath. Roll the shoulders to the back. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, move back, downward dog. So here's that flow. Pause for a moment and just remind yourself of the journey. And just hold the space for what's already been. What can you make peace with? What can you let go of? Well, we close up this cycle of this side and this flow. How can you carry the light with you as we step into the other side? Lift the heels, bend the knees, walk. You can jump. Both feet beneath you, bow. Feet ground down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms overhead. And then exhale, hands to heart center. And now we're here. You're intelligent, you're smart, you've done yoga long enough, I'm guessing, that you know there's a whole other side. Simple, accessible flow. Tree pose can always be done at your ankle, okay? So here we go. Stand to the left foot. Right knee lifts, foot to the upper inner thigh. Working our balance, finding our strength. Oh yeah, arms go out on the horizon. So shoulders to your back, core is drawing in. Connect to that inner horizon. You gotta go inward to the dark, light, or carry the flame of consciousness with you. The divine, God, Jesus, however you say it, Yahweh, whatever your definition is, carry it with you into your heart. Kali, Shiva, Nana, whatever, whomever, however it is. Honor it. You'll be so much more centered. Exhale, hands clasped, foot reaches back, warrior one. Ground the heel, draw in. Find that opening. Lift through the core, right? I even find myself dropping. Draw the ribcage in. It's so hard for me to do. And then inhale, straighten the leg. Quarter turn, heel toe the feet wider apart. Left foot turns out, Virabhadrasana 2. Steady, strong, present. Can't tell you how many people, we just do yoga and we drop like this. There's no elongation through that inner light being able to expand, to do the light justice and open it up. Exhale, hands to the earth. Ground. Left leg lifts up. Downward dog. Open the hip and then 3 circles. So here we are. Like I have to make peace with the fact that I don't have, this is my yoga studio. This is my yoga home. It's virtual. There is little to no connection with you guys unless you comment and you share beyond. You can even message me. 3 circles. Knee comes forward to the heart, then to the earth. Pivot the heel. Stretch the hand back by the hip. Thighs go back. This is where you can ground. Shoulders. Inhale the arm up. Stretch the arm by your ear. I just imagine you guys, right? In that cycle, in this journey. Hand to the ground, lift up, spin the heel up, leg lifts up, open the hip up wide. And then square it off, both feet to the ground. Inhale, plank, breathe. Bending the elbows all the way to the earth. Hands clasp back, shoulders to the back. Knees bend. Inhale, lift. Set the feet free, but they're still up off the earth, okay? So we go from Dhanurasana to Shalabhasana. They're still up off the earth. Rise up. So in all that dialogue that I'm sharing, how do you make peace? I have tools. I continue to share them. Hands to the earth, feet ground down. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. You'll only know what serves you is if you try them on. Exhale, back, downward dog. But if somebody is not wearing a shirt and they offer theirs to you, you might want to rethink your relationship. Slowly walk your feet forward. Right? So just making peace with the way things are is the real practice of the yogi. Right? Our soul is here on a journey. Right? My contemplation is like, do I need to find a way as a human to forgive my soul for choosing this path, this lesson in earth school that it was so hungry to learn? Inhale, rise all the way up. Arms sweep up overhead. Hands to the heart. But along the way, if you go into that idea of making peace, holding space, right? So it's not about forgetting the journey. You are exactly who you are because of every step you've taken to this moment. Every tree pose, every downward dog, every pigeon, every time you've sat and listened to me and internally chatted, can we just get moving? Hey, I'm right there with you. Left elbow underneath the right. Eagle arms. But we're not doing eagle legs, okay? I don't think we are. Actually, we will. Bend the knees, bow forward. Lean forward. Shoulders drawn to the back. And then pick up the left knee. Cross the leg over. And as the legs cross, draw into that center. The hands are moving forward. Shoulders are to your back. Anchor your tail, draw into that core, and then curl the chest up, staying connected to your core. Right, so our intuitive nature is kind of really understanding the intellectual land of the gut and instinct, and our ability to witness and observe and be intuitive. Stay with the breath. And then you're going to open your elbows, open your knee. A little hip opener for you. I am not going to be able to do this next move, so I don't expect any of you all to be able to either. But it's here for you. Hands come to the earth. Major hip opener. And then come up onto the ball of the right foot. Lean forward. And then bend the knees. You're going to hook your left toes around your right arm. Your left arm's on your left knee. Lean forward and the right foot comes up off the earth. Ha-ha, not me. Reroot your heel. Draw it in. Pull in. Rise up. Left elbow under the right. Left knee crosses. Come here. This is just like the deep dive inward. Bow it forward, lean forward, unravel the legs. Both feet to the ground, stand to the earth. Inhale the arms up overhead. Return to your heart, make peace with that whole flow. We just went down and in, right? Versus up and out. To really embody our journey means we have to go into those uncomfortable spots. not to perform, but just to awaken to the process of being alive. Second side, arms reach forward, right elbow under the left. Wrap the arms, bend the knees, lean forward. So you're going into chair pose with eagle arms. Move into that core, right? Fire is always core. It's getting into that core. It's in the heart. It's in the hips. Air energy, so that's what's steady. It's ever present, okay? What fluctuates is the balance, is the justice, is the making peace. So realize that. Right leg lifts and crosses over. Draw in. Find your connection. Breathe, and then you're going to draw in and come standing, upright, shoulders to your back, drawing into your core. Eagle, perched high, higher perspective, elbows go wide, stack the arms, sit deeper into that hip opener. So we know this time, right, we're more prepared. We know it's challenging. We're not expected to be able to do it. Some of you guys can't. You're just naturally created this way. You're more barbarian and less temple dancer. And as you're here, breathe, be, and you can ground in, lift up. So come to your fingertips, lift up onto the heel of the foot. Hello, calf. And then sit, you're gonna hook. Yeah, can't even get into the hook this time. You're gonna hook your right foot around your left arm, hands ground down, elbows bend into that chaturanga land, and then you go. I think I've asked my body to do so many poses over these since I was that young 20-year-old, that they're just like, what the hell were you thinking? So I make peace. I had fun doing it. I ain't interested now. Foot grounds. You're coming all the way up. This is the hard part, to come up out of the muck and mire. Right elbow under the left. Right leg over top of the left. Woo, sit back into eagle. Breathe. And then unravel. Both feet to the ground, both arms overhead. Find the closure. You showed up. You ignited your practice, the connection to be with your body. That's the idea of we've gone in the muck and mire. This is our truth. We're alive, we're living. We have vitality. We bring that vitality with us. We explore the world. We shift our perspective. We gain a higher vantage point through that experience. And we transition from the season of peace and closure to the renewal. Hinge of the hips, bow all the way forward. Inhale, find length. And exhale, bow. We're gonna play, right? We're gonna have a little fun when you got Sag fire with Libra air. So you got this cardinal energy. Oh, I must be serious. I must do justice. It's got to be pretty. I got to be able to do everything perfectly. No. And Sag energy is like, let's just have fun. Let's just try. Who cares? Give it a shot. What do you have to lose? So ground the hands down. Bend the knees as much as you need to. Now, your rational mind is like a lot. So you're going to soften your heart. Shoulders to your back. Lift into the belly. Come up onto the balls of your feet. Knees can still be bent. Keep leaning forward. Relax the neck and jaw. We're just here. 5 breaths. Tell me there's not a flame being lit inside of you right now. And then exhale, feet to the ground. Root your heels. Relax your head. Bend your knees more. Cradle the arms. First time's kind of intense, right? It's fierce. If you can press up to handstand, by all means, go for it. There's no jumping, right? Hands come back to the earth. Spread through the fingers, ground into the earth, lift into the core, shoulders to your back body. And you're going to put that weight into your hands and then elevate your heels. This is the risk. A very calculated and conservative risk when you think about things. Breathe. 5 breaths. And then exhale, re-land the heels. Cradle the arms, bow. Number 3, make peace with what is possible, right? Be patient with yourself. That's where the prosperity resides. Soften the heart. Shift the weight forward. Lead with the heart, lead with love. Have faith in your capacity. Look at it, you okay, make peace. You're helping bone density right now. You're not falling on your face. You're doing more than Lulu is. She's resting. And exhale, bow. Cradle the arms. Heel toe the feet apart as wide as they can go. Come into a wide-legged squat. Heels on the earth. Sit on a block if you need to. Give yourself the support. So if I was to break down that fire energy, we have twists, right? We have the heart opening, twist to cleanse, right? Cleanse to renew, to insulate the nervous system so it can go, wow, I'm here. We have fire that's connected to the heart, right? That's just fixed love, ever present. Unwavering, the heart beating. And then we have the movement that comes with those cleanse and that love as we carry it forward. Out into the world, to the top of the mountain. But we have to get into the depths. We have to get into the foundation of our vessel, into our hips. Is that a long enough squat for you? Maybe you decide to all of a sudden cultivate faith and say a prayer. Come all the way seated. Let's lean back. Hands reach back behind you and just windshield wiper the legs from side to side. And as I windshield wiper, you're going to come lying all the way down. You can go hardcore. Or you can just collapse. Once you're down, you're going to bring your hands back behind your head. Yes, I just yawned. Hands come back behind your head. Cradle your head. And work your core to lift your shoulder blades up off the floor. I can actually get my shoulder blades off the floor. I'm not sure I could get them off the floor if I came all the way to the ground. So let's come all the way down. Release completely. Make peace. And we're going to roll the spine up. So you're going to draw into your core, pull the ribcage in. Yeah, you can get your shoulders off the floor. I know you can. Shoulders come off the floor. Draw in. Now pick your feet up. Knees up. Tap your toes down. Keep the core drawing in. Inhale the feet up. Have faith. Feet come down. You're Your core is talking. I know it is, because mine is. And you know I'm crazy about the core. You might think I'm just crazy. That's okay. I'm pretty sure I am. In the best of ways. Otherwise, life would be so boring. Yoga would be boring. Feet come back to the ground, slowly lower vertebrae by vertebrae to the earth. Head comes down, release the arms out to the side. Left ankle, right thigh, pick the right foot up. I want you to pause here for a moment because Sag is about expansion and gratitude, right? So if we make peace, we hold space for what was, and we make the peace, then we can carry the light, the wisdom forward on our journey. Then we have gratitude, right? Gratitude, when we cultivate gratitude and appreciation, we live with more joy. All this is very Jupiterian, which is Sagittarian. And by the way, everybody is, when the sun is in Sagittarius, everybody's a Sagittarian. Everybody is Sagittarius right now. Everybody is awakening to that part of faith and love and joy and hope. Every single one of us. And then if you were born during that season of Sagittarius, then that's what you're learning how to be. You know it. So now you have to be that. The high road, ideally. If your moon is Sagittarius, then you feel it, and you nourish it, and you cultivate it. Left leg goes straight up to the sky. If your rising sign is Sagittarius, then you present yourself in that expansive way. Most people see that energy of Sag as lucky. It's just that innate goodness that we all contain. All we're doing here is holding the left leg up, draw into your core, push the right foot towards the floor. The foot that's on the floor, push it towards the ground, pull it towards your right hip. So you should feel your right glute, your right core, and let the left leg get heavier. Then we're going to glide the leg down, one of my least favorite moves, but it's good to do things differently. And just feel all that new life. Making peace is what yoga is all about. Because we hold space for what was, what is, and what is yet to be. Right ankle, left thigh. Now I'm not holding my leg, you can, right? What was, what is, and what is yet to be. Past, present, and future. And then the experience as a whole. So we did hip openers today, right? We did salutations just and to invoke the light. To remind ourselves that it's there. To awaken to the remembrance of that innate nature for each of us and all of us. Release the left foot to the earth, right leg lefts. So your right thigh bone's heavy. Make sure you're not curling your tail up and picking your hips up. Thigh bone's heavy. Thigh bone's in the hip socket, right? Sagittarius rules the thighs. That's why we did standing poses. That's why I only did warrior 1 and warrior 2. And tree pose. And eagle pose. And a standing hip opener. And then the, gosh, I can't remember the name of the arm balance I shared with you, but the storage, the name of the sage was a sage that was supposed to go out and find, I'm telling the story wrong, right? Go find like 1,000 white horses, which was impossible, but he did it. Sagittarius is really about your potential. So if you make peace, right, and you're not being manipulated and controlled by the unconscious energy, then you realize your potential and you can rise, you can step forward. So much more becomes available to you. And then we're gonna, right, you're pushing that left foot to the floor, drawing energetically that foot, so your glutes working, and floating the leg to the earth. If we don't care for our vessel, our body, that carries the messages of our soul and helps us explore this human realm so that we can grow and return to the light, it's kind of bogus to be here. Bend both knees. Your choice, bridge pose or wheel pose. I do not have wheel pose in me right now. Shoulders to your back. Feet ground. Inhale, opening up. Open the heart. Hippocrates. So Sagittarian energy is also about philosophy. Hippocrates was a philosopher and a doctor, medical practice astrology. And then slowly come out of your heart opener. You have faith that the ground is beneath you, so let it receive you. That's kind of the idea. It's like Sagittarians leap and the Capricorns catch them. Come all the way to the earth, arms stretch out wide, roll your knees over to each side. You could stay there or just windshield wiper it side to side. So see, my interesting articulation is brought to you because Sweet Diane tuned in today. So immediately, her curiosity, her endeavor, her strength, her warrior-like nature to persevere and to show up, to travel, to explore, right? That energy brings forward the wisdom within me. And my humor, or wit, or just bizarre nature. I can only hope that those of you who've gone before me, that are older than me, that I can have the same tenacity you do. So come to the earth. We want to live for our future and live for that potential, but we want to be present. And gratitude grounds us. Appreciation brings us back here to this moment. So we breathe in the divine. Our breath is our greatest resource. It sustains us more than anything else. Without it, we're nothing. And so when you breathe here, we're not chasing the breath. We're not out going to conquer. There's no risk in breathing naturally. We can use that mind's eye to observe the inhale and the exhale. To know that there's so much more available to us, working for us. You've been living for today to get to this moment, so breathe into it. Make peace with the moment that you're in. Enjoy your breath, inhaling and exhaling. Wiggle your toes and your fingers. Shavasana is all about the renewal of the peace. It is all about holding the space for what's been. It's the alchemy. The magic, and then we carry the light with us. And bend your knees, roll over to one side, pause for however long you like, and then come up into a seat. Hands come to your heart. And we have that wellness within, with that reminder that our resilience is ever present. Yes, we hold on to those desires, but those desires are what allow us to continue to move forward. We don't need to renounce them. But we do want to have integrity. And when we slow down long enough, we see the dark sides of ourselves, the lower vibe, the not so brilliant choices we've made in our life, and we actually take responsibility for them, then we hold that space where we can make peace. And it's not about doing better, but it's about being the radiant being that you are.
and that we practice so that all beings everywhere can return to that radiance, and that we can shine brilliantly together. Namaste. Peace, peace, peace. All right, that's it. I talked long enough. We went long enough. I thank you. I appreciate you. However you show up, you show up. And that's it, right? We just show up together. So in the journey, we evolve, we find endings, we find beginnings, and we make peace along the way so that we can be real, we can be true, and we can be soulfully you. And maybe now you know a little bit more about Sagittarian energy, and that we all have Sagittarian energy in us, even if you're Libra rising like myself. Peace. Love you guys. Ciao.